Hello, and welcome to Math 105 Intro to Statistics. I wanted to make this quick welcome video to welcome you to the course and explain to you how the course will run. So this is the first page of our Canvas course, and I'm going to click on About Your Instructor. This is my bio. I just wanted to point out my email. I do have a Google Voice phone number if you wish to call or text. I do have it on silent, so if you call or text, um, I won't look at it right away and I won't pick up the phone, but if it's an emergency or something, I will call you back or I will email you. I don't like to do a lot of stuff via text. I like to do it via email. My office hours are by appointment, and I usually respond to emails within 24 hours or less. I do have my email schedule here. I don't check emails on Saturday. Um, all of your assignments are basically due on a Sunday, so I do check emails on Sunday just in case you have questions. So I try to check emails between the hours of 12 p.m. and 5 p.m. So if you have any questions, I suggest that you ask me within those hours. If you ask me later on and you need an answer right away, I likely won't respond until Monday. And if it's something to do with homework or anything like that, you want to get your questions in as early as possible so you can meet the deadline. Okay, so once again, this is my bio. You can go ahead and read that on your own. Um, the next thing I wanted to go over is the syllabus. And in this class, we're going to use Macmillan, that's the publisher, and they use something called Achieve. So all of your work will be done in Achieve. They do recommend, the school recommends that you have a TI-83 or TI-84 calculator. That's not really what I'll use in this course. We're going to use the software by Macmillan, which is called Crunch It. The TI-83, 84 calculators are pretty pricey. I think they run about $150. So we likely won't make use of them. So if you just want to get a basic calculator, that's fine. Or if you want to borrow a TI-83, 84 calculator, that's fine as well. Okay, so I'm going to have you read this on your own, but I do want to point out um, the assignments and the grading scale. So you're going to have 3 exams, and those exams are 15% of your grade, and then the final exam is 15% of your grade. You will have homework in this class, and that's going to make up 40% of your grade. So all of your homework will be done in Achieve. And I'm very liberal with due dates. So I don't really extend assignments if you miss them. And that's because I'm very liberal, and you'll see in a minute. So homework is due at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time on the indicated date, due date. You're going to have a limited number of attempts on the homework with no penalty for each of those attempts. And you're going to have approximately 15 homework assignments, and I'm going to take the top 10 scores. So when you start later on, when you look into your Canvas grade book, you'll see grades start to drop off. I'm going to drop off the lowest, probably the lowest 5 grades. I'm only going to take the top 10 scores. So this is the homework and exam schedule. You're going to have chapter 1 and chapter 3 homework due in week 4, Sunday of week 4. So, like I said, that's a month's time. So I don't extend homework because I feel that if you cannot get homework done within a week's time, then you probably have issues with time management. Do not wait until the last minute to do your homework. Try to work on your homework, each week. So you'll be ahead of the game. Your first exam, which covers chapters 1 through 3, is in week 5. So what I usually like to do is I like to have the homework due before you take before you take an exam. So I usually like to have the homework due a week before you take the exam. I do know we have a fall break. So that week we won't have anything due. So you might see a gap. For example, this homework here, chapter 4, 5, and 8 and 9 will be due in week 8. However, your test will not be due until week 10. And that's because week 9 is our fall break. Okay? So once again, I don't extend homework. I do drop the lowest 5 scores if we have around 15 homework assignments. Okay? So let's go back to the class. So I do have links to your Achieve ebook. So let's go ahead and click on that. And we're going to load it in a new window. So these are your chapters over here. You can click on them, and you can click on each one of the sections that we'll be doing. So in this chapter, we're doing 1.1 through 1.4. And you can read through, and they have some examples, and then they have apply your knowledge that you can work on your own. Okay. The one thing about Macmillan is that they have really, really short chapters, which I find interesting. For example, when we start looking at chapter 2, we'll start looking at the mean, median, and mode. So with Macmillan, they have like one section for mean, one section for median, one section for mode, which is kind of odd because usually in most books they group all 3 of those into one section. So I'll have a lot of videos based on each section, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. So that's your ebook if you wish to read it. I don't know if students read textbooks these days. I find that some don't. I don't know why. Some students just go off notes. That's up to you. I can't force you to read a book. We will use a program called Crunch It to help us do statistical analysis. And Crunch It can be open um, different ways. So if you click here, this will give you a direct link to Crunch It. Okay. So we're going to open it up in a new window, and this is your Crunch It. However, when you go through problems in your homework, it'll be a link to Crunch It that you can just click on it and open it up. They have various softwares here, but we'll be using Crunch It. So you can click on Crunch It and it'll open it up. However, if you don't, there may be problems where they, and this is later on, where they don't give you a data set. So the reason why you can click it on here from this problem is it's going to open up a data set. It's going to transfer the data set into Crunch It. So if I go ahead and click on this, as you can see, the data was transferred here. But there will be problems where you will have to use Crunch It, but there's no data set. So that's why I have the direct link to Crunch It in Canvas. Okay. All right, so I'm each module I'm going to break down into chapters. So the first chapter is chapter 1. The first thing you will click on is learning activities, and it tells you what to do for chapter 1. So I have all my lecture videos here, and that's up to you if you wish to watch my lecture videos. You don't have to. And then I have my lecture notes. So this is a zip file. So when you open it up, you'll see 4 sets of lecture notes, 1.1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can save that on your computer, print them out, and take notes as you watch my lecture videos. I also have Excel files that you can use in Crunch It. So the way that you will do it with Crunch It, so if you save those Excel files, and I think they save it in a CSV file or CVS file. I can't think of the ending of it, but if you want to open up a file that you have saved on your computer, you're going to go to File, Import from File, and then you're going to choose the file that you want. So if I click on Browse, I have videos. I have my Excel files here. So if I click on this one, it's going to open it up, and then I'm going to hit OK. It'll open it up. So this might be the same data set that I just showed you. But anyway, you can open up the Excel files into Crunch It. Okay? So we go back to our classroom. That's what I have. I have them in zip files. So you can open them up, save them to your device, and then open it up into StatCrunch. So all of my videos are in YouTube. So I have each one of these videos here. Now, I'm making uh, this class by scratch. So I'm doing videos and lecture notes as we go. So if we start with chapter 2, I may not have all my lecture videos and Excel files ready. But you don't have to wait on me to do that. That's up to you. I do have supplemental videos for you to use. So these videos come from Achieve, and these are called Stat Tutors. So each one of these covers um, the sections that we'll be looking at. And then we have Crunchy videos to help you learn Crunchy. So you may say, oh, well, I'm not going to wait for my instructor to load her videos. I'm just going to go ahead and work ahead and watch the Stat Tutor videos and the Crunchy videos to understand the material. That is your right. I have no problem with that. But like I said, I'm going to start putting my videos in as the weeks go by or as the days go by. So hopefully I'll have chapter 2 up there this week. Okay? So your first set of homework or chapter 1 homework is not going to be due until September 14th. The same with chapter 2 and chapter 3. So I'll put up chapter 2 tonight, and then you can start working on chapter 2 if you wish. You can always check the learning activities to see if I have my lecture videos up. All right. So you'll check your grades here. I don't want to click on this because it'll show student grades, so I'm not going to worry about that. So that's pretty much how this class will run. Like I said, I'm very liberal with due dates. I know most of you guys are busy with other schoolwork. You have families, you work. So I want to give you time to work at your own pace and understand the concepts before moving on to the next concept. I don't like to have stuff due every week. I feel like that's just overload, um, especially when you have other classwork that you need to work on. So work at your own pace. Just try to get your work in by the due date. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.